أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي
حينما رددت يا رب العباد.
Be nice. I'm always nice. Really nice. Not bitchy nice. You're tying my hands, but fine.
Fight! Fight!
يلا Assalamu.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كل.
والله الشيء إلى دالتي هذا يبدأ ربايو تزيد ما نفسه أنيقا أنكو دورا أني.
Guys, so like a couple of days ago I read these verses in Surah Yunus, and I was just a bit inspired. Like, you know, there's verses that we normally read, but like, you know, there's times that we deep it a little bit more than others. And a thought occurred to me while I was reading the translation and the tafsir of these ayahs. The verses were ألا إن أولياء الله لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Behold, no fear shall be upon the friends of Allah, nor shall they grieve. And I just imagine, like, you know, there's times that, like, you know, we just deep it and we just think about Jannah, and we're like, okay, the goal is Jannah, right? But we don't really like envision it, right? And then when we do, it's like, Allah, I want to be in Jannah, I want to see Allah, right? But imagine if we can be friends with Allah in this world. Like, Allah talks about those that, you know, anger Him, and those that don't like seek the remembrance of Allah, and that don't worship Allah, that they, you know, are in hardship, that they're in misery, you know, they're lost, and you know. But I was so inspired when Allah mentioned the friends of Allah. And this translation and tafsir that I read was just like amazing. The friends of Allah are those whose position requires no boundaries between Allah, and they are not distant from Him. Their hearts are open, unveiled, and they see Him with all their hearts through the light of knowledge, faith, and good deeds, which leaves them with perfect sincerity. The text goes on and says, because of this acquaintance that they have with Allah, anything besides Allah is of little value and insignificant when it comes to anything that, you know, is contrary to Allah's boundaries and Allah's obligations and pleasures. What was beautiful about this is that, you know, in life, like, we can make that our goal. Like, in hereafter, is the goal is that, you know, we want to see Allah, we want to go to Jannah, and, you know, just we want to, like, not go to hellfire. But the goal that we can make in this life is, you know, that we can become the friends of Allah Azza wa Jal. And when you're a friend of Allah Azza wa Jal, like, no pain, no sorrow, no fear, right, as it says in the text, will hold a value, right? Allah will be bigger than our fear, bigger than our struggles, bigger than our hunger. The next verse is الذين آمنوا وكانوا يتقون لهم البشرى في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة لا تبديل لكلمات الله ذلك هو الفوز العظيم. Those verses to me were also like the cherry on top, because it just talked about the qualities, right? It says that there's a good news in this life and in the hereafter, because Allah Azza wa Jal fulfills the promises of His friends, and for them there's like a great victory. The first step to that is to think good of Allah Azza wa Jal, to think positive of Allah Azza wa Jal, right? And it helps because we become more optimistic and in living. We become more optimistic and intentional, and, you know, we live life with purpose. And those are the good qualities of a Muslim.
Ku tahu engkau putri raja, sedang ku hanya insan biasa. Tak mungkin istana akan ku janjikan, sedangkan ku hanya tinggal di gubuk derita.
alikum. This one is very, very important. You must say this dua whenever you go through any calamity, misfortune, or any hardship, okay? And if you say this dua, I promise you it works. I swear by Allah, I've done it myself and I've got something better back. If you say this dua when you go through anything bad, Allah will give you something better back, okay? So the dua is, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allahumma ajirni fi musibati wa khlif li khayran minha. Here's the translation. To Allah belong, unto Him we shall return. O Allah, compensate me in my loss and recompense me for it and give me something better back. Whoever says this, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that Allah will give them something better back. It doesn't have to be for like, some mad calamity. It could be something like you've just lost something, or your laptop's just broken, or you've lost whatever. Say this dua, you'll get something better back. I promise you. Assalamu alaikum.
لأجاريهم قلدت ظاهر ما فيهم فبدوت شخصا آخر كي أتفاخر وظننت أنا أني بذلك حزت غنى فوجدت أني خاسر فتلك مظاهر لا نحتاج المال كي نزداد جمالا جوهرنا هنا
أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد للهدى والحق وفقني إلهي.
So let me tell you the story about my istikara. I feel like everyone needs to take this advice and do what I did because I feel like I could save you from so much trouble. So there's this guy, he DM'd me on Instagram and things were fine. So we talked for like a couple of days and he's like, hey, let's go on a date. And I only did one date. One date is all you need to know whether someone is like right for you or not. This guy, when I tell you this guy was fine, he was... The date went perfectly. Like there was even this moment where I had ordered steak and I didn't really like my food and he gave me his dinner and he was just, and then he like fed me his chicken and I was like, he didn't touch me though, so keep in mind, like he never told you, just like whatever, right? But I fell in love. I was like, this guy gave me his chicken. We gotta make this halal. Come on, bro. So a couple of days went by and everything was perfectly fine. We were talking and then I had this idea. I was like, let me make istikara because I'm not going to go on a second date and like continue talking to this guy and getting to know him more unless I know he's good for me. So I got up for Fajr like I always do. I prayed my Fajr and then afterward I did the istikara prayer. And whatever, I left it at that. Let me tell you, you don't want to hear it. So I didn't hear back from him for like an entire day and I was just like, what is going on? Like, and he was just like, honestly, I think I'm just not really over my ex right now. You're such a good girl, you're really perfect, but I don't really want to hurt you. My heart dropped. What I did when I was feeling really sad, I just got up right away and I prayed Asr. So after Asr I felt so much better, and then so a couple months went by, like around like 7 months went by, and I was just chilling to myself. I was single, whatever. So I met up with a friend and they were like, hey, have you been seeing anyone or talking to anyone? I was like, not really. Like the last time I went on a date was like 6 months ago and it was with this guy. They were like, him? And I was like, yeah, why? Like everything was nice, but he just told me he was not over his ex-girlfriend. Listen, my friend goes, that guy has like 4 girlfriends. He just got caught with like 4 girlfriends. He's like playing 4 girls at the same time. All 4 girls right now are really heartbroken. If I ignored my istikara, I would have been his 5th girlfriend. First of all, nasty. Allah, like, he put it in his heart to not hurt me. And to me, that was so crazy finding out about 6 months later, like why it didn't work out. Because at the time, I did not understand. I was like, why? He's so perfect. But I would have been hurt. Like imagine 7 months later, I find out like I'm just one of the many girls he's been with. With istikharah, even if you start talking to a guy like right away, do not wait. Why would you wait to know if the person you're talking to is actually your person? Because Allah's wisdom is beyond ours, what we can comprehend.